Still raining, but I got the door open now, but it's really putting a hindrance on my tasks today. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. So let's just jump into it again today. We got quite a bit to do. I should be able to get pretty dang far today. So I got pretty much everything I need right now. I'm still waiting on a couple big pieces for the wiring, but that should be here in a little bit. So let's just get into it, and hopefully today things will begin to take shape, and we'll be able to see more of a final product and all that good stuff. So let's get into it. Okay, I've done some more work on this since I last showed you some things in the last video. I drilled some holes. I did the countersink on these, and I mounted the threaded insert into the PVC. So I need to go to the store in a little bit to get some more hardware to get into these bolts, or to get into these holes. But I bought one just to see if it worked, and it goes in there nicely. I'll show you that a little bit later. But right now I need to map out the edges, the sides, and the one in the back. I've got marked. I just got to do all that right now. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll jump back in. Okay, got all these holes drilled to mount this on the bottom. I had it mounted on the top so I know where they go, so I just had to measure in and get it right. So now I'm going to take the screws back out. I'm going to go through and clean up this fuzz and all the stuff that got pushed out. We'll clean that up, and yeah, moving right along. So I need to run to the store real fast and get some little bolts for those threaded inserts. They're 1024. I don't have any of those here, so I'm going to run and get those real fast. And for me, half an hour. Once again, for you, it's probably going to be... And we're back. So I got the bolts. Should be good. I think I explained it in the last video, but I'll go ahead and explain it in this one too. I'll also link the other video up top as well. But yeah, let's jump into it and we'll see what we got. So as I mentioned, I think the fuse panels and fuse boxes and all the wiring and all that stuff is going to be under this. So I felt like I would be taking the top part off a lot more. So I got these little bolts. I put the threaded inserts into here. We countersunk them into here so they're flat. And then so now I can take these bolts out as many times as I want to, and it won't strip out the threads in this PVC. These inserts will always be in there. They'll always have the threads, and they'll always be good to go. So I can remove this panel as many times as I need to work on things or whatever, add things. All that kind of stuff. So that's why we're doing it this way. That's why we did the inserts, and that's why we're doing these little bolts. So I think this was the best option to have this still remain serviceable under here. So yeah. So this will be the piece with the plexiglass on it. I gotta measure it still and get it centered upright and all that stuff. I had this cut yesterday, and so now I just gotta measure it. I gotta make sure to go in a ½ an inch from the original dimensions, because I'm gonna I want it to sit down flush on this thing, because right now it looks kind of stupid. So we're going to cut it in ½ an inch, and then we'll grind off. I don't have a router, so I got to figure something out with that. But and then it'll sit down on the little ½ inch shelf that I'll have cut into it, and it'll be flush. So I think that'll look clean. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy this, being able to remove this whenever I want. So as you can see, this is the gist of everything. I'm going to put these little braces in here. When I cut out the hole, I wanted to have some support on both sides. It's pretty thick wood, but just to be safe, you can never have too much support. I'll probably have the LEDs down in here where it shines up through the plexiglass, and we'll run the cabling, and the fuse panels and all that stuff will be here. And yeah, it should be super clean in here. I'll probably paint these black just to have it, in case you can see it through the glass. We'll have it blacked out, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mock this up and see how it's gonna look. So yeah, this will be mounted in here just like this. We'll have the ground terminal here, so this will be where all the grounds will mount to, and this is the positive side. So we will run the positive wire to the battery, the ground wire to the somewhere in the car probably. Put some fuses in here. They'll have lights on them so I know when they're blown, and we can just mount things in there super easily and put in lights, whatever else you want to do to it. Now let's get the stuff unboxed that they just dropped off, and we can get the wiring and get it in there and see how it looks. Also, if you're wondering why I have blue tape on my thumb, yesterday when I got the plexiglass cut, the guy there asked me to help him because he had to like hold it on the counter and I had to like bend it and pop it off where he cut it at, and I cut the absolute shit out of my finger, so that's why that's there. Okay, let's get this in here real quick and mock up some things. All right, so now I'm gonna, let's see, where is the, okay, good. So I'm gonna drill a hole on this side to run some wiring through to get down to the battery, so I don't have to do coming up and around and all that bull crap. It's gonna be all hidden, so we'll drill a hole. I'm gonna mark it right there. We can run the cables through right there, and they can come out on the bottom, run to the battery. Let's mark it about right here. Seems good. So I'll do that there. The cool part is, let me take this terminal off right here. So the battery will be here. Normally, when wiring an amp, you would need to run all this cable from under the hood to the big fuse, and then run this all through the car. But now that we're this close, that's not going to need to happen. So, does this reach? Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna run this up through this hole, mount this fuse up into here, put this here, and then I can run a short bit of wire over to this, which is the distribution block, which it takes the bigger gauge. This is 4 gauge here, and I'm gonna take it down to the smaller gauge over here to go to the amp. So I'm gonna mount this probably right about there. Let's just map that out and get that cut, etc., and we should be moving right along. Okay, we got that ran. We got the 2 power wires coming in. Drilled the big hole out back here. I'm gonna get some fittings to hopefully put in that to at least keep it from, like, I don't know, just look clean. I know it's there. You can't see it. You'll never see it, but I know it's there. Now I need to measure where this comes up at, or where this could come up at, and I want to set the circuit breaker to the side here somewhere, I think. And so it just started raining again. I've been fighting it all day long. So if the sound's a little echoey, I apologize, but I had to close the garage door as it's blowing in. So yeah. So I'm thinking I need to mark where I'm going to drill to have the wire come up for the cable down here. I'm going to try to have it come up over here somewhere, and then run it across. And then this thing, I'm going to have to bring it up like right over here maybe, to where I can get it out enough and then bend it to where it will go. So I think I'm going to drill one hole first, and like this one, and then get it mounted on there and then see where it puts me here. So yeah, I'm going to do that real quick and then we'll come back. I'm so nervous to drill this panel because it's like, I've done so much work to it and it's actually like really good now, and I'm just scared of messing it up. But gotta do it. Okay, I was able to waller out the hole there, as they say. So so I can get this end through without having to cut that cable again, because I'm pretty tight on the cable. I thought I had more than that. I thought I had enough slack, but it's pretty close. So getting this through there should be good. All right, I had some little black screws, mounted that up nicely. I'm gonna drill the hole out now. Not gonna show you that because it's the same as the last one. We'll just get it knocked out and we'll get those wires in there and see what it looks like. All right, so that's how it's gonna look when it's all mounted up and everything's where it's supposed to be. I think that looks pretty cool. Once it has some black loom on it and you can't see that red wire, that should look extra good. That should look extra good. I did get this gauge from Stinger as well. It's a voltmeter. I think I want to mount it somewhere, I don't know, like here or here. That way it's a little more symmetrical whenever it's all done. There's something on each side. There's a lamp in the middle. It looks like it's supposed to be that way. I don't know. Probably going to mount this right here and run the wires down and call that good at that point right there. I feel like I've gotten nowhere on this thing today, but I've been working nonstop for like 2 hours on this, trying to get this like in there and like looking good and everything's mapped out right. But it'll look good in the end and it'll be worth it. So next up, let's run some more cabling, I guess. Actually, let me get that top deck off. I want to measure this plexiglass out so I know what I'm looking at. I'm going to draw some lines on there. That way I know where it's at. I know what to do with these, like the volt gauge and stuff like that. So let's pop that off real quick and do that. All right, I've mapped out the little volt gauge. Everything's the same distance apart. I mapped out the tracing and the ledge of this thing, so I need to cut it on the inside line. So there's this little lip to hang it on. I gotta figure out some way to shave off the thickness of this once I get it cut. I really need a router badly. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to find a shop around here to do it, but yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna jump into getting the amp lined up and getting the wires marked, or the holes marked where the wires come through, and get that squared away, and yeah, we should be golden after that. Okay, got the drilled out holes. Drilled out 2 holes on each end, and then took my jigsaw and just ran it through and connected the dots on each side to get that little gap. And so now the speaker wire should run right through there, and I can just run a bunch of it through and go right to there. It's still raining, but I got the door open now, but it's really putting a hindrance on my tasks today. Alright, I decided to just go for it. Was tired of being a little bitch and just decided to cut it out. I cut out the amp rack hole. I gotta sand it down to where my lines meet up. I didn't want to get too close to them, but I'm gonna sand that down with a grinder or a Dremel, something like that. The cables can run through there, wherever. Light strips will be here, shining up, and the plan is coming together. I'm just going to end it off here. You know, there's a lot of wiring left to do, and I don't think you'll find that very interesting. If you watched it this far, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I know this has been kind of a video of me just kind of measuring and cutting and working on this one piece, but there's a lot of tedious work here, and there's a lot of intricate work and things like that to do, drilling the holes and all that kind of stuff. So hope you're enjoying this little build series. We worked a lot today. I got very far on this top deck, this amp rack. I'm very pleased with that. But thanks for sticking with me through it. I do appreciate it. We're what, 3 videos into it now, and we're ending off a whole day of this. We're going to be 4 videos into it when we're wrapping it up. So thanks for sticking with me. I appreciate it. Leave a comment down below what you think so far, and don't forget to do all the other YouTube things down there as well. You guys know how it goes. Hate that it works, but it does. And catch you next time. Bye.